Hey, I'm Zach, and today I'm headed out for my very first wildlife shoot with the Sony 200 to 600mm lens. I've done quite a bit of macro photography and other types of photography, but wildlife is totally new to me. I picked up this lens a couple weeks ago, and this is the first nice day I've been able to get out with it. I arrived at Hague Road Nature Preserve around midday. Not the best time for birds, the light was harsh, but this trip was more about scouting and practicing. I chatted with another photographer who shared some tips, but warned me bird activity was really low. The trails here flood a lot, and it was muddy. Everything got coated in mud, including me, but I kept going. While walking one of the trails, I spotted a flurry of bird activity. I backed up, set up my tripod and stool, and waited. A few birds showed up, like this woodpecker, but he stuck to the far side of the tree and stayed in the shadows. This nuthatch hung around long enough to get a few shots. Nothing amazing, but I was starting to get excited about what this lens could do. Then I heard a strange bird call. I looked up, nothing at first. But then a big bird dropped low through the trees, bright red head about the size of a crow. I've spent a lot of my life outdoors as an angler, and I don't recall ever seeing this one. My heart started pounding. This had to be something special. I slowly stood, took the camera off the tripod, tried to get a shot through the brush. I didn't get a clean image, but here's what I did capture. Later I identified it as a pileated woodpecker. Turns out they're not exactly rare, but they're not common either. And for my first wildlife shoot, that felt like a gift. Even cooler, my GoPro, which I had pointed down the trail, caught it flying right past. I missed the shot, but I saw it. That's enough to make this bird a target species for the future. So it stung a little bit that I missed that shot, but that's part of the process. Next time, I'll be ready. As the trail got worse, more mud, more flooding, I backtracked and waited in a clearing. Nothing. So I switched things up, grabbed the macro lens and focused on what was around, wildflowers and insects. Some of these turned out surprisingly nice, and honestly, I loved this part of the day. But while switching lenses, I must have got some dirt on the sensor. I noticed spots on the flower shots as I reviewed them, and then realized I forgot to bring my rocket blower. I managed to shake off most of it carefully, but lesson learned, always pack the rocket blower. As I made my way back out, I filmed some turkey vultures soaring above. I struggled with the handheld video, it was shaky. Didn't really think to try the different lens stabilization modes. I'm sure I have it on the default, which is probably the wrong one for trying to track those birds. Later I stopped by another park. This time I left my bag behind and just carried the camera. About 100 feet in, I saw what looked like a deer staring right at me, maybe 150 yards out. It didn't move at all. I started to wonder if it was fake. Maybe someone put up a prop on the private land. Then something moved behind it. It was about 30 feet back. I raised the lens and saw the back half of another deer. When I looked back at the first one, it had changed positions. Definitely real. I got a halfway decent shot and even a little video of them trotting off. Deer are common around here, but seeing them in the middle of the day like that, pretty cool experience. The only other wildlife I caught was a squirrel. Not the most exciting subject, but hey, they're photogenic. Missing that pileated woodpecker is going to haunt me for a while. But I was rewarded with the deer encounter and some really solid macro shots. I need to practice tracking, both handheld and on the tripod. I have a lot of turkey vultures around my house, so they'll be the perfect for evening drills. Focus issues were a big problem. My nose kept tapping the screen and moving the autofocus point. That feature works great for my in-studio macro work, but in the field, not so much. I couldn't figure out how to turn it off while I was out there, so note to self, disable it before heading out. And seriously, don't forget the rocket blower. If you've got tips for a new wildlife photographer, I'd love to hear them. Drop them in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and stick around. I've got more wildlife and macro content coming soon.